Some of the latest chapters of the One Punch Man series present various extraordinary story developments, especially from the figure of Garou and also Saitama. We see how Garou tries to fulfill his dream of becoming the villain that many heroes fear. Garou wants to destroy the Hero Association and also make everyone realize that he is the strongest figure. Then we see the development of Garou's strength, which slowly but surely begins to evolve into a monster figure. And the climax is how later Garou managed to get cosmic power thanks to his deal with God. However, something unexpected then happened where Saitama was blown away by Garou's latest epic power. Not only that, Garou actually created a nightmare by presenting a high level of cosmic radiation, which knocked many heroes unconscious. How Garou then actually turned into an evil figure made Genos finally try to stop him, even though he knew that there wasn't much he could do with his shattered body. Seeing how Genos did this made Garou angry. He then beats Genos to powerlessness. And the climax was Garou smashing his body into pieces, where the core of Genos' body was blown away. Seeing a moment, Saitama could only be silent and also angry. And in the last panel of One Punch Man chapter 166, we see how Saitama is finally serious in dealing with Garou. But before we start this video, please smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and click notification bell, or you will miss future anime videos. Genos is a student of Saitama, who has become one of the most important characters throughout the series. He is one of the hero characters who enter Class S, along with other great heroes, such as Bang, Tatsumaki, and so on. The figure of Genos really adores Saitama, and really appreciates him. He then managed to become a student figure of Saitama. Genos himself then engages in epic battles between heroes and monsters in the Monster Association arc. He had fought several villains, but the most epic and attention-grabbing was how he teamed up with Drive Knight and Tatsumaki to defeat Sickest Orchi. Unfortunately, as a result of this, Genos' body had to be destroyed because he put all his strength into helping and protecting Tatsumaki. In chapter 166 yesterday, we saw Genos being one of the characters who was not affected by the radiation from Garou's nuclear fission and gamma-ray burst attacks. This is because Genos is a cyborg. Even though part of his body is missing, Genos is still trying to stop Garou. Unfortunately, Genos' efforts were in vain because Garou was too strong for Genos. Garou plans to make Saitama put all his effort into it, and to do that, he then took the life of Genos. Garou's punch pierced Genos' cyborg body, causing Genos' blood to be scattered everywhere. However, many then asked if Genos really died. Judging from what happened in the story, it's very likely that Genos was killed. The keyword that we need to underline is that Genos is a cyborg. To answer that question, we need to look back at Genos' flashback, as the story once appeared when he was 15 years old. Genos lived in a small town with his family. However, then a cyborg that goes out of control attacks the city, destroying all the houses and everything in the city. Everyone in the city died as a result of the robot attack. Genos himself would have been dead had it not been for Dr. Kuseno. Dr. Kuseno then turns Genos into a cyborg in order to save his life. Since then, the relationship between Dr. Kuseno and Genos also developed like father and son. The two then worked together to track down the whereabouts of the crazy cyborg. However, what Genos said was in fact much doubted by the fans. Many of the fans theorized that it could be that Genos' memory is actually a memory that was deliberately implanted and created by Dr. Kuseno. This is based on the appearance of Genos, whose almost all parts of his body are cyborg. Very few of his body parts are real body parts. In fact, even though his face resembled that of a human, it was an artificial face. In creating a cyborg, usually the scientist will perform a brain transplant to the robot's body. That meant that the original brain of Genos himself was probably still hidden somewhere hidden. That is, the chance of Genos being able to come back alive is still there even though it may be small. If Dr. Kuseno then uploads and transfers the memories or data from Genos' brain to a new body, meaning that he could come back alive, Garou had indeed succeeded in destroying the body of Genos and making him killed as a result of his attack. However, we see that there is still a chance for Genos to come back alive. Genos' chance to return is quite large, of course, with a few notes. For example, Dr. Kuseno needed to rebuild the cyborg body for Genos, or find the right part. Even so, what then becomes the next question is whether Yusuke Murata and one will do it. The death of Genos became a catalyst for Saitama to show his true strength. Saitama would certainly be happy if Genos could return. But maybe from a narrative perspective, the return of Genos in a new body will eliminate the epic moments in chapter 166. What do you think? Can Genos be revived?